What if the footsteps you hear at night aren't in your head and they're not alone? He thought he was finally free, his first home, his own space, peace at last. But one summer night, something shattered that peace and reminded him that the scariest stories aren't found in books. They happen after you lock the doors. I had just moved into my first house, alone, for the first time in my life. After 28 years of living with my parents, this was supposed to be my independence milestone, my quiet new chapter, a place of peace, privacy, control. It was July of 2022. My new house was a modest 2-story with a small unfinished basement, a cozy kitchen, and 3 bedrooms upstairs. I had just finished unpacking and decorating. It felt like mine, finally. Now, here's what you need to know. I'm a light sleeper, always have been. My dad is a chronic insomniac, the kind who's always getting up in the middle of the night for water or to pace the stairs. I was used to waking up to footsteps in the hallway. It became background noise growing up. But on this night, that sound wasn't supposed to be there. It was around 2 a.m. I had taken a melatonin and a sleep aid to help me rest. I usually sleep like a rock with those, but something pulled me out of sleep. A sound, footsteps, familiar, rhythmic, coming from the hallway. I was half awake, groggy, disoriented, but I knew those footsteps. For a moment, my brain said, Dad, like muscle memory. But then I remembered, I live alone now. There is no dad pacing outside my room. I sat up, heart already thumping. The steps stopped. I whispered, Dad, into the silence. Nothing. That's when the dread set in. I got up, opened my door, and flipped on the hallway light. I walked out slowly, checking each room as I passed. Then I reached the stairs, and that's when I saw him. A tall man, wearing a mask, standing at the bottom of the staircase, just staring up at me. My whole body froze. For a second, I thought I was still dreaming. He didn't move, didn't speak. No weapon, just standing there. I screamed, voice shaking, get the fear out of my house. And unbelievably, he did. He turned and calmly walked out through the front door, like he owned the place. I bolted down and slammed the door shut, locking it. That should have been the end, but it wasn't. Just as I reached for my phone to call someone, bam, the back door slammed shut. There was another one. There was a second intruder in my house. Panic doesn't describe what I felt. I wasn't just scared. I was vulnerable, violated, completely unprepared. I ran upstairs and dialed my dad before even thinking of the police. He answered immediately, of course, never sleeps, and said, Why the hell are you calling me? Call the damn police. He was right. I hung up and called 911. While I waited, I kept replaying everything in my head. Where were they? Were they still inside? The police came quickly. I explained everything. The footsteps, the masked man, the slam of the back door. I told them nothing was stolen, but it wasn't about theft. It was about fear. They asked for descriptions. I told them about the tall guy in the mask, but I never saw the second one. And I had no clue what direction they ran or what they were driving, if anything. They said the point of entry was a kitchen window, just wide enough to climb through. It made me sick to imagine them crawling in while I was sleeping upstairs. After the police left, I didn't sleep. Instead, I went online and ordered every security item I could think of. Cameras, alarms, motion lights, new locks. I installed everything the next day. Nothing was ever stolen. No trace left behind. No message. Just 2 silent strangers who crept into my home and walked out like it was nothing. But to me, it changed everything. Now, I sleep with a knife under my pillow, and I don't sleep easy. Every creak of the floorboards or rustle outside makes my pulse spike. Every time I walk past the stairs at night, I glance down, half expecting that same masked face to be waiting. And if you think this only happens in movies or news headlines, think again. It happened to me. It can happen to anyone. So here's my advice. Don't wait until it's too late. Install security, get cameras, lock every window. And if you live alone, let someone know your routines. I wish I could say that was the end of it, that the security cameras gave me peace of mind, or that locking my windows every night brought me comfort. But in reality, it changed something deeper, something I couldn't fix with motion sensors or deadbolts. There's this underlying tension that never really leaves. Every creak in the floorboards, Every gust of wind brushing against the siding makes me freeze just for a second. Is it nothing? Or is it happening again? The worst part, the footage never showed anything. Not that night, not the days after. No shadows slipping through the backyard. No masked faces peeking through the glass. It's like they were ghosts, just two intruders who materialized for one terrifying night and vanished without a trace. And maybe that's what messes with your head the most, not knowing. If I had answers, I could move on. But there's something about not knowing who they were, what they wanted, or why they left without taking anything that keeps the paranoia alive. Sometimes I wonder if they came not to rob me, but to test me, like it was some twisted game, and I happened to be their target that night. Or maybe they were scouting something else. Maybe they weren't done. It makes you rethink everything. How vulnerable you really are when you're asleep. How fast your world can flip from comfort to chaos. And how thin the line is between ordinary and horrific. So yeah, install your cameras, double check your locks, but also prepare yourself mentally. Because when something like this happens, it doesn't just break into your house, it breaks into your mind. And once that fear is inside, it doesn't leave. Because sometimes, the people who break in don't want your TV or your jewelry. Sometimes, they just want in. If you're still watching and you've ever felt like you weren't truly alone in your own home, drop a comment below. Share your story. You're not paranoid, you're prepared. And if this story creeped you out even half as much as it did me, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. We share real encounters and unexplained experiences every week. Until next time, lock your doors, trust your instincts, and never ignore the sound of footsteps at night.